Afternoon, Bobcats. Welcome back to another great week at the Helena Middle School. On today's Bob lesson, going to be talking about a topic that transcends to all age levels, transcends to whether you're a middle school student, a high school student, post-high school, an adult, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a counselor, whether you're a student. And that is two categories of things in life that happen to us, and they can virtually all be in the category of things that I have control over in my life and things that I do not have control over in my life. This is a topic that, in getting to work with middle school students and even talking with adults, it totally transcends both age groups, and it is totally something that we need to think about. Every day we are given, we have 24 hours, the same 24 hours that everybody else has. And what we do with our units of energy every day is very important. And hopefully something that you get out of this is having your focus and having most of those units of energy put into things that you can control. Because we end up wasting a lot of our life. We end up wasting a lot of emotional energy and worries on things that we have no control over, when we could better use that energy on things we can't control. All right, this week's Bob lesson, I'm going to be talking about controlling what you can control in life. But first, let's be our best this week at HMS. Let's be Bob. Let's be safe. Let's be responsible. Let's be respectful. And let's be a learner. All right, as I talked about in the intro, I've noticed a pattern the last couple years of things or subjects or life situations of conversations that I get to have with you guys. And I started to realize that a lot of things in life can be broken up into one of two categories. And those categories are things we can control and things we can't control. And it seems like a lot of things that bother us as human beings in life, no matter what age we are, fit into the category of things we can't control. And control is a thing. As a human being, we want to be in control of situations because we feel safe when we're in control, because we feel like we can affect the outcome when we're in control. And not being in control is a very vulnerable and helpless feeling a lot of times for a lot of people. And so many of the conversations that I have end up in these categories of something's going on and it's just outside of their control, and it is so frustrating. And I try to keep a stance of figuring out right away what are some things that we can control and what can't we control. So I came up with a category here, and I just put some things in here that are common things when I'm thinking about you guys as students, things that may be going on in your life that you can't control, and things going on in your life that you can control. Let's start with the column on the right. These are typical things that the sooner we figure out we have no control over these things, and the sooner we figure out to put less time, effort, energy, and frustration into these things, and we start taking all that time, effort, and energy and putting it into the things on the left, probably the biggest one is other people. We cannot control what other people do in life. We cannot control whether those other people like us. We cannot control whether they are respectful or disrespectful to us. We cannot control whether they want to be friends with us. When we get to this category on the left, the only thing we can really do is control how we treat them and how we respond to them. Life circumstances. Like I talked about on previous Bob lessons, things in life that are unfair are going to happen. And many of these things that happen are outside of our control. They're just going to happen regardless. So we have got to release power and control and let those things be. This is a big one, how other people treat you. And this is kind of similar to the first one that I talked about. You cannot control how other people treat you. You can control how you respond. You can control how you treat them, but you cannot control how other people treat you. Your parents. A tough one that I deal with a lot is kids that have parents that are divorced, parents that are fighting, parents that aren't in their lives, parents that come and go out of their lives, and that's a tough one. Because we want our parents to be in our lives. We want, I think every person wants that white picket fence, 2.5 kids and a dog, the perfect American family. Well, it just doesn't exist, folks. And we cannot control our parents and what they do, and that's a tough one because a lot of time parents have control over us. We cannot control whether other people like you, whether that be platonically or whether that be romantically. Again, the only thing you can do is show up, be your best version of yourself, treat people with respect, treat people nicely, and if somebody doesn't want you or doesn't want to be friends with you and you have respect for yourself, you just keep it moving. I was talking with some students last week, some 6th graders, and I said to the one person, I just don't think she wants to be friends with you, and that's okay. Surround yourself with people that do value you, that do like you for exactly who you are. The other things we can't control is our inherent abilities. Inherent abilities basically means our God-given, how we were genetically made. I can't control the fact that I am 6.5 feet tall. I cannot control certain things about myself. We just have to, as human beings, let that be, accept it, and focus on things that we can control. So this was just a short list of things that are outside of our control, and this list could be very much bigger. But I want you guys to spend some time in thought right now thinking about what are some things that have happened in my life that I have absolutely no control over. All right, conversely, what are some things that we can control? And this is where I always encourage people, I always encourage students to focus on these things because that's where real change can come from. How about our attitude that we bring to any given situation? You're going through a tough situation, your attitude can be very powerful, whether you believe things can turn around or things happen for a reason or it's all part of your plan or you got to roll with the punches sometimes. How about how we adjust to situations when things don't do well? Do we panic or do we take a deep breath and process the situation responsibly and take the time that we need to figure out what adjustment or how we are going to react or respond to any given situation that we are put in? How about how we treat other people? Getting back to the friendship thing, whether other people like us, either romantically or platonically, sometimes you can't control those things. All you can control is how you treat people, what kind of friend you are. Are you respectful? Are you kind? Are you caring? And if that other person doesn't reciprocate that, then maybe we need to surround ourselves with some other people. How about our work ethic? When it comes to school, are we working hard? Are we working hard to control what we can control? A lot of tough things in life require grit, perseverance, and a strong work ethic. How about our preparation? Are you taking your school serious right now? Are you taking your practices serious right now? We can prepare for tough situations to happen, and the more prepared you are, the better chance you are going to have success. How about controlling our schoolwork? So many times when I'm having these conversations with kids, it's like, you know what? Let's figure out things we can't control. You know, your home life might be a mess, your social situation might be a mess right now, but if you buckle down and put time, energy, and effort into your schoolwork, that's something you can control. Now, again, this is a very incomplete list, but the main point of this Bob lesson today is things happen in life. Separate the things that we can control from the things we can't, and let's put 95% of our effort, energy into things we can control. All right, we're on to this week's quote of the week, which is, gosh, this is one of my favorite. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond. Again, it's this thing we're talking about of things we can control versus things we can't. And that takes us to this week's Jellybean Question of the Week winners, who are Abby Jaquez, Shelby Williams, Maria Mosier, Zachariah Beeman, and Evie Linden. The answer last week was Mount Rushmore. What four-man rock group doesn't sing? This week's Jellybean Question of the Week is, I can breathe but never talk. I can run but never walk. I can be picked but never be chosen. What am I? If you think you know, submit your answer to the Bob Box no later than Friday. Tune in next week to see if you are a winner. All right, Bobcats, let's go and make it a great week at the Helen Middle School.